Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to export your markup list from Bluebeam using what Bluebeam calls a PDF template. So let's get started. I just finished this plan check for a solar project and wanted to export the markup list to send back to the customer. As you might be aware, the markup list that Bluebeam creates is pretty plain. It is just a white sheet of paper with all the markups listed on it. But Bluebeam also allows you to export it with a template. A template adds a bit of professionalism to your markup list. In my example, mine looks a bit like letterhead, but you can style yours however you like. What Bluebeam does is it takes this header area and puts this at the top of the markup list. Then, in the white space below, it adds all of the markups. Finish creating your template, and then save or print it as a PDF to a favorite location. Once you have done that, go back to the Bluebeam application. Once in Bluebeam, access the markup list at the bottom. If this list is not already available, click on the hamburger icon on the left to bring up the markup list. Then, click on the clipboard at the top. Select PDF Summary. The PDF Summary dialog box will appear. In this area, we will import the template and customize how we want the markup list to appear. First, let's make sure we are on the Output tab here on the right. Notice in the middle of the screen, there is a template box. There are no templates loaded, but there is an import icon here. Click on the import icon. This automatically brought up the downloads folder, which is where I saved my PDF template. Go ahead and double-click the PDF template. Bluebeam will show you another dialog box called the Summary Template. In this dialog box, you can customize where the markup lists appear on your template. Grab the blue handles and drag it down to below your top header. I drag it down just an extra bit, and I'll show you why in a minute. Once you're done customizing, click OK. Now let's customize the markup summary just a little bit more. There are dozens of features here, but I only use a few of them. On the Output tab, in the title box, I usually rename the title to what the project is. And that is all I will do under the Output tab. One thing to note under Templates is that you can import as many templates as you like. If you'd like to create a template that is custom to commercial tenant improvements or residential projects, feel free to import as many templates as you like. Next, let's click on the Filter and Sort tab. In this area, you can choose what goes on the markup list. One example of this is to choose what plan checker's corrections go on the markup list. If there are more than one plan checker on this list, you can choose to print your own or add the other plan checker's corrections as well. In this example, the planner had some corrections, and I will choose to leave his corrections on my markup list. Finally, let's check out the Columns tab. In this tab, you are able to select which columns go on the markup sheet. In this case, I can see that the status column is empty, and I do not want that to print on my markup list, so I will uncheck this box. So let's now go back and double check that everything is correct. Let's click on the Filter and Sort tab, and everything looks good there. Let's click on the Output tab, and everything looks good there, except Bluebeam has decided to add some extra information to my title. Previously, I had only entered the address and the type of project, and it entered some extra information, and so we'll delete that. Now that everything looks good, let's go ahead and click OK and export this markup list. And now Bluebeam will begin making our markup list on our template. And here it is, a much more professional looking markup list. Earlier in the video, when we were customizing the markup list area, I mentioned about grabbing the blue handles and dragging it down just a little bit farther. The reason for this was so that there would be just a bit more space between this title and the top header. And one more tip I'll add in this video. By default, Bluebeam adds a lot of extra columns to the bottom markup list. To change this, you can click on the markup list pull-down, hover over columns, and change what columns appear. If you come to this column setting before you create the markup list and uncheck the columns you don't need, they won't appear in the markup list and you won't have to make that setting change. If we click on the markup list, go to PDF Summary, and then click on Columns, the status column is no longer in this list. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video on how to create a markup list with your own template. See you on the next one.